Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. As everyone knows, the emergence of Huawei is a giant hammer in the eyes of the United States. It has brought an unprecedented sense of crisis to the United States after it has been the leader in the global technology field for decades. In order to consolidate its leading edge in the world and protect the interests of Qualcomm and other US companies, the United States has launched a series of sanctions against Huawei, including Huawei on the entity list, discrediting Huawei's 5G, cutting off chip supply, etc. This put Huawei in trouble. Not only has it been unable to mass-produce the unicorn chips it developed, but it has also led to the collapse of the mobile phone industry and a sharp drop in revenue. It can be said to be a thorn in the side. But even so, Huawei did not flinch in the face of the paper tiger pressure from the United States. Instead, under the leadership of Ren Zhengfei, it launched the Nanyuan project to enter the global semiconductor industry. Relying on Huawei's tenacity and perseverance, Huawei has survived the most difficult period of 3 years. Although there is currently no way to manufacture Kirin chips, 3 years later, Huawei finally successfully solved its mobile phone supplier problem and made it the mobile phone industry has regained its vitality. This is the nightmare for American companies to be banned from exporting Huawei products. With the frequent revision of the US ban on chips, Chinese companies, encouraged by Huawei, began to choose their own technology to get rid of their dependence on the United States and prevent being stuck by the United States. In this regard, China's technology is the most important, and it is precisely because of the persistence of these companies that China's semiconductor technology has developed rapidly, which is in sharp contrast to foreign semiconductor technology. According to data, in 2022 alone, China has cut orders for imported chips by 97 billion, which has turned all American chips into inventory. No matter how low the price is, no one is willing to buy it. It should be pointed out that starting from 2023, Chinese companies have cut a large number of imported chip orders. According to data, in 1 to 5 months, Chinese companies have cut orders for imported chips by 45 billion pieces. According to this momentum, it will not take long. China's semiconductor chips can keep up with China's needs. By then, Meishan will become a piece of scrap iron, and the Chinese will no longer buy it. With the re-emergence of Huawei, American companies have rebelled. AMD, Nvidia and other companies have provided new products to China. Qualcomm is desperately trying to supply China. Nvidia's president Huang Renxin is holding a mobile phone, bombarding American companies, saying that nothing can stop the development of Chinese chips and can only cause the collapse of Meishan, so they must respect the Chinese market. It is also worth mentioning that not only Nvidia and Qualcomm, but also Intel, Seagate and other companies have sent friendly signals to China. Even ASML, the leader in the lithography machine industry, has said that it will increase its exports to China. Obviously, those chip companies and lithography companies have suffered huge losses due to the impact of the US ban. That's why they ignored the US ban and refused to give up the Chinese market at the cost of huge fines. However, under the constant pressure from American Core and ASML, the United States, instead of loosening Chinese chips, has further strengthened its restrictions on Chinese chips and has repeatedly put pressure on countries such as the Netherlands and Japan to implement them as soon as possible. Tripartite agreement. Japan, the little brother of the United States, announced that it will impose a comprehensive ban on 23 types of high-end semiconductor products from China before July 23, including photolithography equipment, and will strictly control products below 45 nanometers. Restrictions, that is to say, they will strictly regulate Chinese products. Some foreign media said that China's photolithography machines will become a pile of scrap iron under the strict constraints of the United States and Japan. However, what Japan never expected was that before this blockade could even begin, Huawei launched a fierce counterattack. According to Japanese media reports, Huawei began to license patents to more than 30 Japanese companies some time ago. All companies that use Huawei's wireless communication system components must pay Huawei's patent licensing fees. Huawei said that the patent fees charged this time are reasonable and that in the days to come, Huawei will work hard to maintain its core technologies. Ren Zhengfei said that he was very busy in the past few years and had no time to collect patent fees. However, since Japan issued restrictions on China, Huawei has taken the initiative to collect patent fees. Many media believe that Huawei is going to collect patent fees. Falling out with China. Of course, I think Huawei is doing this to give Japan a deterrent and let them know that if they still want to suppress China's chip industry through three-party transactions, Huawei will never give up and will protect their patents and cut them off. Key technologies. After Samsung and TSMC were approved by the United States, and Dutch ASML rebelled, those Japanese companies chose to side with the United States against China's cannon fodder in the technological competition between China and the United States. It was undoubtedly a tragic war. Today's Huawei is no longer what it used to be. Not only did Huawei stop the decline in revenue, but after solving the problem with its suppliers, the company's products have also regained their vitality. In 3 years, the company has updated 4,000 chips, achieving a goal of domestic production of 13,000 chips, has also won a large order of $4.1 billion for China Mobile's 5G network, and the company's market value in digital technology has reached $23 trillion, which makes Huawei's the days are getting better and better. In short, today's China is no longer the China that was dominated by others hundreds of years ago. With the support of Huawei and several other companies, China's technology will advance by leaps and bounds, and it will soon be able to surpass the United States and several other developed countries. Despite the country's technical restrictions, Huawei's Kirin chips will be rejuvenated and come back proudly by then. If you agree, give it a like.